Now, might I say before I get into this, I know this is very different to my normal videos, but fucking fly. I am disgusted at this game, or maybe I shouldn't have said that. I don't know the secret to a good review, if that's what you want to call it. I'm just here to point out what's wrong with a video game, which is kind of what I do to people on the channel, but hey-ho, games, people, all needless shit. Let me just start off by saying I was a massive, massive fan of the first Homefront. Fucking loved it. Been a fan of Red Dawn since I first saw it almost a decade ago, and to see a game kind of take inspiration from it was absolute fucking chocolate balls. It was brilliant. Now, the last thing I'm just going to quickly say is this isn't scripted, so well, it's like most of my normal shit, so there you go. But if it means when I spoil it, I probably didn't mean to spoil it in that way. Spoiler alert? So the game starts with 3 people strapped to a chair, 2 of them get killed really quickly, then this guy comes in, he saves the day, he's like all-American hero, like fucking Captain America comes in, but gets shot in the leg, you get out, and then you go and try and help him, but then you cross the street, they take him, yada yada yada. Anyway, turns out that that guy was like the top dog of the resistance, so you spend 2/3 of the game trying to rescue him, only to see a news report. And like he's on it and he's saying, the resistance should give up. Like he's been tortured to say that, obviously. But at the end of the day, you probably spend about 6 to 8 hours trying to find this guy. Only to then be told, right, we don't need him anymore. Now you'd think, hey, wait, that was probably just a really long build-up. Hopefully it was. Because, you know, I actually didn't know what to do from that point. It's like, well done, the game threw a curveball and it fucking backfired. We lost one of our guys or 2 of our guys. Fucking shit went down. And we got betrayed as well. Yeah. But instead, the characters mope around for a while and then just go, oh, revenge. And then you spend another couple hours just trying to kill the mayor or something. Something that really doesn't seem like it's going to have effect. Because what you have to remember is, the last game's final mission had you linking up with the remnants of the United States Army, and, you know, you're flying a helicopter around the Golden Gate Bridge, and you were massively underpowered compared to the technologically advanced KPA, I think it is, that were on the other side of the bridge. But anyway, you fighting to take Golden Gate Bridge. It's fucking good, alright? That last mission itself should sell the game. But this just dribbles down. And, again, let me quickly say, I haven't actually completed the game. Now, don't switch off at that point. The gameplay that's currently playing in the background is what I assume to be the last mission. Or at least it is for me, because the fucking thing won't work. Now, the bugs in the game don't make the game unplayable whatsoever, but my next point is that there are bugs. If you're gonna get it, just keep in mind there are gonna be bugs. It's actually got a bit of a Assassin's Creed 3 thing about it, with the fucking windows, you can't get into them, stupid shit like that. For a game that's now trying to incorporate some form of as Far Cry-like free running, I want to say, they really did a poor job with some of the doors and windows and navigation. But I made it through the vast majority of the game and only had small complaints there. That's no big deal. That was never the game's selling point. If the game's selling point was that, then okay, yeah, go for it. But instead, the game's tried to sell it on the new weapon customization, where you can just take apart a gun and what have you, and that just happens to be one of the areas where the game is flawed again. Because you can take apart a gun, you can do some pretty cool things to it, that I will admit. It was a really cool gimmick for the first 10 minutes, but eventually you just settle into I will use this gun, and that will do me for now. And then you don't go back to it. It's needless, really. I don't mind having to pick up a gun. In fact, there are some parts in the game I would have liked to have picked up the Korean guns, because they use different guns. They use some pretty cool looking things that I would have liked to have used at least once, but you don't. Again, maybe you do for the last 15 minutes of the game, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to play it. Not to mention, there are probably only 10 attachments, and those attachments don't work on all guns, so there are some guns, like the SMG, that only can have a silencer. That's it for the muzzle. It can have 2 scopes, and I'm pretty sure that's all you can do to it. You can't even paint it. The only gun that you can skin, from my experience, is the pistol, and I only got that one skin because of a fucking, I don't know, Jesus gave it to me or something. It's a pre-order bonus. Normally when I jump into a game and it's new to me, and it was sold on specific points, that's normally what I go and experience straight away. Now, the game does a very, very good job at not really giving you a massive tutorial. It stretches it, so you don't really notice it. It's not like some games like Call of Duty where you're meant to be an already trained soldier, you still have to go to the firing range, and they're like, well done, looks like you can go abroad and fight. But, you know, you were meant to fucking be there already. You've obviously done your basic fucking training. But as a big fan of the first game, I think the characters really saved it. It went off with a right bang, rather than a slight dribble opening, and that's probably because the characters are shit. But the first game opens with you you're just a civilian, so you're roped into this and you don't even want to be there, really. And then the KPA fucking drag you outside, and a bus crashes into the buildings, and a load of shit happens, woo. This is pretty crap. By the time you finally meet some interesting characters, you automatically hate them. There's pretty much only one character in the game so far that I've liked, and that's sort of the main guy thing. Not Walker, he's a traitorous cunt that I haven't even seen again. Apart from that one TV broadcast I mentioned earlier on. The chick is absolutely useless. There are some parts in it where I just want her to be shot, and I would be happily content with it. But the only reason I don't really want to see her dead is because I know other characters are going to mope about it, because they're just that crap. The only one that looks like he's actually got some form of story, I think his name is Sam Brennett. The only reason he looks like he has an interesting story is because he's the doctor, and he talks about him setting up clinics around the areas, around the districts, but you never really see any more than one of them. So yeah, if you want a quick recap, the weapon customization is a gimmick. The characters are a dribble, the story takes ages to kick off, and then just when you think it does, it dribbles and flops. All in all, if you want a decent experience like this, just pick up the first game. It's probably $5, no matter where the fuck you live, no matter what shop you go in. Oh, I almost forgot, of course. Online, I would be able to give you a decent review on it, if there fucking was one. There's a co-op thing, a bit like Payday, but the first game had a decent Call of Duty-esque online. Not that I'm a massive fan of it, but it worked. And it had some really interesting semi-futuristic kill streaks. But this game's, oh my god, all it's got for one is a 4-person co-op thing. There's no PvP, which is the reason I wanted to keep the game and not get a fucking refund. But hey-ho, refund-a-ho, hopefully Steam will give me my money back. Which I guess that statement in general should tell you how I finally feel about the game. But there really is the final issue that I do have to quickly address, which is the online customization. Which, by the way, is decent. Not brilliant, but decent. But it feels like something out of the DayZ beta, and it runs like it too. Not to mention that I couldn't even get in a game after fucking 10 minutes of waiting in lobbies, just fucking with the character. Why couldn't they have put this effort into a more interesting online? Or here's a better idea. Executives at whatever the new company fucking owns the game. Take note. Rather than having a silent protagonist so people can project themselves onto it, because this isn't really the type of game where a silent protagonist is necessary, although I see the artistic design behind it. After all, this could be us in 10 years. But why not let us make us, and then I can understand the reason for a silent protagonist. That's pretty much my quarrel with the game so far. If I do manage to complete it, I might just rewrite the review and just put it in the description of this one. I very much doubt that, because I don't think a lot of you are really interested, or at least none of my subscribers. I mean, I make shittily edited memes out of fucking 14-year-olds who want to be leafy fucking YouTube wannabes. Anyway, don't want to push this video to 10 minutes, otherwise whenever people see double digits, they're like, oh, hell no, I'm not watching that video. So, auf Wiedersehen, ladies and lasses, and thank you for joining me. Oh, and quick sorry again for not making anything over the past month, but I've been travelling across the States. And I've been going to some places that have been pretty cool, but either way, limited laptop access. So now I'm back at the computer, thought I'd make up for it. New shit coming. Hold on to your britches, I think that's a saying.